These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Frank 26 Iraq boots on the ground report Firefly. They're saying they have an agreement with Baghdad to restart the flow of oil to Turkey through the pipeline this week. They're saying all the dispute has ended. Exports will resume in accordance with available quantities, ensuring a gradual return to the international markets. Frank says, realize what they're trying to tell you. Your currency is going out of its borders. Your oil is leaving its borders. What is the oil attached to? Your dinar. Your budget is about to be pumped financially. This is getting serious. All right, Claire has an article quote, urgent in numbers, Ministry of Planning announces the final result of the population census. Quote, the population of Iraq has increased by 39,618,000 people compared to the 1957 census, in which the population of Iraq was 6,500,000 people. All right, Sampson article quote 1, Kurdistan government completing the population census in Iraq broke psychological barrier. Article 2, Iraqi Minister of Planning, census indicators ensure fair distribution of resources. Militiaman has an article quote, there's no way out except through radical and immediate reform, starting with restoring the exchange rate to what it was. Quote, warns of stifling financial crisis and for reducing the dollar price. Militiaman says, well, they can't do that unless, of course, they do what? Raise the value of the currency, the dinar. They can't change the value of the dollar. The people of the region in the world are watching for a radical move. All the indicators are there, and they've been talking about it for long enough. We can see the pressure has been up. Mark Z via PDK has an article quote, Iraq reiterates OPEC pledge ahead of restart of Kurdistan oil exports. Mark Z says 400,000 barrels a day are headed back into the market soon. They are inspecting and taking the pipeline out of mothballs as we speak. Frank 26 says we now have a new population census. They were using Article 140, but it wasn't complete. So you were not going to have equal distribution. It's not fair to come out with a new exchange rate. Now we have a new population census. All right, Claire article quote, after a difficult labor, the 2025 budget tables finally find their way to the Council of Ministers. Quote, the Ministry of Finance will finish preparing the tables and send them to the Council of Ministers for voting on them in the middle of next month, noting that the Council of Ministers will vote on the tables without delay and then send them to the House of Representatives for voting on them. Lastly, I've got Mountain Goat says this process has to change and the dinar has to get off the de facto peg to the US dollar. This is the solution. It's the only way out of this mess in Iraq. They must go to a basket of currencies of developed countries as the IMF and the World Bank recommended for Iraq way back in 2011. In 2012-2013, the director of CBI, Dr. Shabibi, was going to revert to this basket of currencies, which would have allowed the dinar to be reinstated. Of course, his plan was first going to conduct a project to delete the zeros.